Good morning to everyone here, and good morning to those on Facebook. I'm Betty Cook. I'm one of the prayer practitioners here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Eugene. I'm going to lead you this morning in a meditation. We just had our 50 plus 3 anniversary celebration. I was in kindergarten in 1970. I think about that when I think about a bunch of people that decided that it would be good to charter a center. One of the things that we spoke about a lot at that event is what going forward looks like. But I also think about what going forward takes from us, what that would take from us. So this morning I'd like to do a meditation centered around the God in unexpected events. So I will invite you to breathe deeply, big deep breath in. And let's let it out for the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. This is the time to be aware of your shoulders. What's going on in your shoulders? That's where we carry most of our worries. For this next 15 minutes, I'm going to ask you to put that down. Just lay it down. And I invite you to go inside. Take another deep breath. I'd like you to find some part, some vision for yourself that feels very solid at your feet. Someplace you've been that feels very solid and very secure. That when you look down in your imagination, that place is absolutely secure. See that as the floor of the room you're in. See the doors and the windows and the ceiling and the walls. You are secure in this room. And now I'm going to invite you to walk to the door of that room. And I want you to know in your heart that all that is in that room and all that is in your heart is known, it is secure, it is loved, it is well protected. But now you're going to go through that door. And you don't know what's on the other side. And as I speak that idea, take a moment to become aware of how that leaves you feeling. For we know that a door is just a door. And I invite you to ponder this question. What door have I passed through but can't seem to leave behind? Where have I let an ending or limitation determine my possibilities? I invite you to breathe again deeply. Envision that door again. And if you still feel like you can't reach for that doorknob, I invite you to ask yourself and ponder this second question. What limitation am I attempting to avoid or transcend instead of engaging and moving through? What can I learn from the limitation itself? And how have I made myself ready to pass through the door? invite you to take another deep breath. Center yourself in the heart space. Give yourself the loving permission to love and accept yourself right where you are. And know that you'll go through that door at exactly the right time. Take another cleansing breath. I invite you to call to mind any guide that might help you pass through the door of the unknown. For folks in the Hindu religion, that would be Ganesh, who creates obstacles in order for you to further your spiritual growth. And knowing that we believe that everything is for our highest and best good, whatever door is in front of you will be for your highest and best good. And whatever door is in front of us for a center going forward for the next 50 years is for its highest and best good. I'm going to close our time together with this affirmative prayer. I know there is one loving and perfectly timed presence in the universe. And I know that that presence and that intelligence as spirit. I am one with the wisdom contained in the love that comes to me through the unexpected obstacle. I am one with the wisdom contained in the surprising that presents itself in many forms. I am grateful for the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to adapt. I'm grateful to be in the journey and to find the way through, and to let that way change me into more. I release the knowing into the universe and into the universal mind as I say, And so it is. Thank you for joining me this morning. And please stay with us for our service that will begin in 15 minutes at 10:30. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, and thank you for being here, everyone. This is the Center for Spiritual Living in Eugene, Oregon, and we are happy you're joining us today, both in person, online, or if you happen to be listening to this on MP3 or on video in the future. We're glad that you're listening today. So join us. We are going to sing This Little Light of Mine. And just know that our little light all contributes to the one big light of the world, and so sing it proud. We got the band today. Yeah. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine.
Yes, please stand if you like.
Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Walking in the Word, I'm gonna let it shine. Walking in the Word, I'm gonna let it shine. Walking in the Word, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, this God light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This God light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This God light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All right, let's take that energy and say hello to your neighbor. Woo-hoo.
Right. We're gonna sing any wishes.
Just looking up at this beautiful altar here. We are celebrating our 50+3 anniversary weekend. So as you settle back into your seats, if you have a mobile device, please use this opportunity to silence it. Ready? When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. If your heart is in your dreams, your request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star as dreams,
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Eugene. If you're new today or have been here a while, we have blue slips out front to fill out your info. If you're watching at home, please reach out to us on YouTube or Facebook. Just join in the conversation. At this center, we know spiritually empowered people live richer, fuller lives. So we use the principles of science of mind to inspire minds, open hearts, and empower lives. There we go. Yes, and at the beginning of the year, we started going through our global visions for the spiritual living, and we're on number 8 right now. We envision a world where personal responsibility joins with social conscience in every area of the political, corporate, academic, and social sectors, providing sustainable structures to further the emerging global consciousness. It's a good one. And at this time, I'd like to invite Betty Cook up after we sing We Are One, and she'll lead us in affirmative treatment to set the tone for today's service.
We are one. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come. For we are one. We are one. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come. For we are one.
I noticed this morning that the sun was up very early. And I was called to consciousness that we are rapidly approaching summer solstice. So, I invite you to join me in an affirmative prayer around summer solstice. I know there is one source of light, one never-ending and luminous presence, warm, enveloping, and gently engaging. And I know that source is spirit. I step into that loving and gentle presence, and I am one with everything and everyone. Exactly the same way that light falls on all equally, lighting a path and warming my heart. I am with spirit right here and right now, and I celebrate the return of the Northern Hemisphere to a time of abundance, light, and healing energy. I am alive and awake with the possibilities of the flowering plants, the singing trees, and the lush green grass, all of which is inviting me to throw myself in as the strength and the power of spirit, illuminating everyone around me. I know and I feel the cleansing and powerful storms, as well as the heat and humidity, as the variety and reassurance of an earth still evolving and renewing. I am flowering. I am growing. And I am ready for everything that Spirit wants to express as me. I am grateful for the long days, the time to play outside, the light in the shadows, and the flowering green and lush abundance all around me. I am grateful to be the light for all I know. I release this knowing, this power of what light I am right now as I say, and so it is.
All right, thank you, Betty. My name is Kevin Buttry. I'm on the Board of Trustees. Today's our Board Sunday. We get together and talk about what's went on the past month and make plans for the future. Got a lot to talk about this month. A lot's been going on. I'm glad to hear that too. I'd like to do our May affirmation right now. I'll say it once and then we'll repeat it together. My life is an unfolding of inward journeys and outward experiences. As I open to the new perspectives that both the light and shadow bring to me, I allow my light to shine everywhere. I'll say it with me. My life is unfolding inward journeys and outward experiences. As I open to the new perspectives that both the light and shadow bring to me, I allow my light to shine everywhere. Okay, as I said before, our practitioner of the day is Betty Cook. Holding High Watch in the back is Maggie Covarrubias, and I'm glad to see you again, Maggie. Today's message is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and our music is from our house band, Matt Tritter, Mo Schneider, Paul Worster, and Marty Weisbar. Take it away, fellas.
much to the Haas band.
Yes.
Just love listening. They take me away.
It did.
It sets us up nicely for this time in our service when we open up to the message that's going to be presented by Reverend Linda this morning with the song, I'm Opening. Hope you'll join us. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. In this room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough peace and quite enough power to walk through every fear. For spirit, one spirit, is in this very room. And so I surrender into that energy, into that love, that joy, that peace, that power, which is the truth of what I am. The truth of me, the truth of all being, is love. Always was, always will be. And so I surrender into that, and I let love be love in me. And I let it be so. And so it is. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, house band. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for this weekend. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. And thank you, Nancy Fisher, for finally getting the chance to assemble this altar that she purchased the stuff for back in 2019. There was a couple things that happened in there. I'm not sure if you're aware what went on in 2020 and 2021, but stuff happened. This month, our theme is the light in the shadow. And the first week, it was a bright sunny day, and I was looking out there and could literally see the shadows in the streets with the light patterns dancing in the shadow. So you could literally had an affirmation, a living affirmation that there is no shadow without the light. Shadow cannot exist without the light. The two are interdependent, interconnected, and are all part of one another, even though in our human brains we tend to try to separate them into this and that. This is not what it is. Wherever we are is always, physically and metaphorically, an interplay of light and darkness. Not many of you are aware that before I became an English major, I was an art major. And I love to do drawing with pencil. And part of the training in drawing is learning the art of chiaroscuro, which is the interplay of the light and the shadow, and how to make something that's light on this side and fading slowly into a shadow. So it gives things shape and depth, and it doesn't feel like you just pasted two things on the thing. It has contours. And that's the interplay of light and dark. Without the interplay of light and dark, we have no contours, we have no shape, we have no action going on. So it's lovely when we're approaching one of the darker sides of something to remember that this is all part of one big thing. It's not, as it says in the Bible, and I love repeating this, somebody pointed it out to me a couple years ago. It's like it never had dawned on me. In the Bible, it says, it came to pass. It never said it came to stay. It came to pass. It came to pass. And so it is passing. It is not staying, no matter what it might look like. This too shall pass. But we have years and years of cultural training about the light is good, the dark is bad. I grew up in the 50s. The cowboys. You could tell the difference between the cowboys because the good guys wore white hats and the bad guys wore black hats. And it was such a startle to everybody when the son Adam in Bonanza, who was a good guy, wore a black hat. Oh my goodness, what did that represent? What were we supposed to get from that? It was, it's culture is an intriguing thing, and we have to realize that a whole lot of our reactions to things are cultural. They're not the truth of anything. They're just what we have learned through living in the culture. Oh, that's what that means. Okay, I'll accept that now, and then I embody it, and then okay, light is good, black is bad. That's dark is bad, black and white. It's either or thinking. And I will tell you, it was just a few years ago when we did our very first, we usually had a women's retreat the first weekend in June, and we did our very first community retreat some years ago, and we brought Christy Snow and Jack Fowler to do that retreat. And I was there, and I stayed afterwards a couple of days. They had us do a writing exercise, and I was unable to finish the writing exercise. And it took me a couple of days, and what I realized, I won't go into all the details, but what finally hit me like 36 hours after the retreat was over and I was sitting there at my desk writing away is I needed to start living in a both and world. I had been polarizing everything in my life, this or that, this or that, this or that. No, this and that. I am both these things. And so that really was a huge step for me because life really is both and. I'm reading an interesting book by Stephen King about a guy who is a hired assassin, but he only kills bad guys. But he has created a linear thing in his line, and he's helping people who are good, but he is okay with shooting somebody who is bad. And the book is about him coming to the dichotomy that he's both of those things, that he is both of those things. And it's just intriguing how themes show up when we're working in one area or another. Themes will start showing up in the books we read, the stories we see, and whatever. But darkness has become a metaphor for the unknown. We think of the cave. I think it was Linda who talked about the cave, or Donna, pardon moi. I knew what I was saying, but my mouth said the other thing. That Donna did the talk a few weeks ago about the cave, and we fear to enter the darkness. It looks scary. It's like, ooh, there's God knows what's there. The devil knows what's there. Who knows what's there? And so we create all these stories around it, and as she pointed out, the very cave we fear to enter is the one which holds the treasure we're seeking. And so we need to be able to look at the dark with different ways now. It is, our limbic brain calls it unknown, and so we don't open to it. And this, I think, is what's going on in our culture. You may have noticed lately that there's a lot of thems and us's going on, and they're bad and we're good. I don't care which side you're on. They're bad and we're good. There's only an either or, and it's not the truth. We're both that. We're both good. We're both bad. We're both a combination of all those things on specific days, at specific times of days, in specific circumstances, under specific conditions. We all run on this spectrum of light to dark, dark to light, good to bad, bad to good, whatever you want to call it. Everything is relative. I am older than my grandmother was when I got married at 21. But I'm younger than she was physically, mentally, and emotionally now. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but whatever age she was when I got married, she was older than I am now, even though chronologically she was younger. Her consciousness was older. We're having a talk with Mo earlier about our parents. 50 years ago, our parents, 30 years ago, our parents at our age were so old, and we're not. And I don't think that's just us talking to ourselves. We're really living differently. We're dressing differently. We're thinking differently. We're being different. It has to do with the ability that everything is relative to everything else. There is nothing that is even a mountain exists in relationship to the planet. We're all connected to other things. We're all related to other things. The darkness that is that place of fear, the darkness that is the deep, dark cave, the darkness that is the night, the dark night of the soul, is also a safe place. The darkness can be our friend, a space of fertility and creativity. It can soothe and comfort, and yield insight and clarity. We can practice vulnerability and surrender instead of domination and control. First, we learn to embrace the dark, feel more comfortable, and welcome it into our world. Remember Rumi's guest house? Everything is sent from beyond. It's laugh, bring it in joyously. It's meant to create change for you. We can retrain ourselves to lift our faith instead of fear. What if we embrace the darkness like the unborn baby, whose cozy and loving home is the dark, creative, fertile womb space? You know, when we are created and as we're being born and as we're gestating, we live in dark for the first 9 months of our life, or 8 months in my case, but all of us are a little different. But the light had to be pretty terrifying. You know how it is when you've been asleep and then somebody turns on the light and your eyes go, imagine if all you've known since you had any awareness whatsoever is the dark. And you're suddenly thrust into an operating room with brilliant light shining in your face and all these people making noise. I'd cry too. You know, stop it, I want out of here. But I want us just to think again of the both and the spectrum thinking, moving from one scale to another. Carl Anthony, who's a singer based out of Los Angeles, a metaphysical New Thought singer, and he wrote a beautiful song. He was up here, oh God, I think we had him here about 12 years ago. Was it 12, 13? But the song that touched me so deeply of his is we're one people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are one. And it's a beautiful melody. We are one people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are one. And that's just such a beautiful reminder. And yet, there's a place in us, the amygdala, the fear-based brain, the lizard brain that wants to fear the unknown. We live on one planet, but we don't know the other cultures. I'm not familiar with it, so it must be bad. It must be dangerous. It must not be inviting. It must be wrong. Oh, yeah, there's a church across the street, but they baptize with immersion, and we baptize by, so they must be wrong. We can make our world as tiny as we choose, and all the tools are simply ways of differentiating ourselves from one another, but the bottom line is every one of us is one person living on one planet. Every one of us wants a meal a couple of times a day at least. Every one of us wants to be able to sleep safely at night. Every one of us wants to know that our families are safe and have health care. Every one of us wants to know that we can get an education, that we can play together, that we have places we can go, that we can afford a roof over our heads. I think if you went to any place in the world on this planet, every single person you meet, no matter their culture, no matter what they look like, no matter how they dress, no matter what their voice is, if you had a way of talking to them, they would all want the same basic things. These are the things that we require. They don't require immersion baptism or dribbling baptism. They don't require no meat on Fridays or whatever it might be. Those are preferences. But if we could just get back to our basic sense that no matter how much light it is, no matter how much dark it is, there is a thread that binds us. There's a thread that runs through us all. There is a thread that connects us. The Hindus call it Indra's web. But it's part of us all being. What happens to me impacts what happens to you, which impacts what happens to your friends, which impacts what happens. There was years ago a car commercial that showed people walking down the street doing lovely things for one another, smiling and helping each other, and then the person who got helped helped someone else, and the person who got helped helped someone else. And then they ran it backwards, and it went to somebody walked out the door and saw a car that they really liked, and they smiled, so they held the door open for somebody else. And then each person that had something nice done for them did something else. Well, you don't have to see a car you like to smile. You don't have to see a car you like to hold the door for somebody or help somebody who's dropped something. But the thing was, the point was one nice act performed for you basically promoted the person who was helped to do a nice act, to pay it forward, to do something kind to the next person and the next person. It's the kind of wave I really want to see in our world. I did a quinceañera yesterday afternoon. It was quite amazing and lovely. It's a coming of age party for a 15-year-old Hispanic girl. And I went to the restroom, and somebody was sobbing, and there was a girl there who was in distress because a former family member was there, and she didn't want to see them, and she didn't want to be there, and nobody could give her a ride home. And it was just, and she had a friend helping her, and I just kind of held a bubble around her. And I didn't see her for a while, and then I was getting some ice for my water, and she came out, and she didn't, she had seen me, but I said, "Are you okay?" And she looked at me, and then she went, "Oh, yeah, I'm fine." We all have dark moments, but if someone can hold a space for us to let the dark moment work its way through and then let it out. If we can be a light in someone's life in some small way, if we can see someone's pain and just hold it in our heart for a while, if we can be the light that people are seeking, because we are the light, this God light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. And the twinkle, twinkle, little star. I have a cousin who was born when I was 11. Well, I had. She's no longer with us. But when she was 2, she learned Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And I was visiting in Colorado Springs, and Susie decided to sing for us. And the way she sang it was, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star." And so whenever I hear "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," Susie immediately pops into my head, and it's not little star, it's little old star. Yeah. Little old star. There can be no shadow without the light, and in the darkness, the light shines. The stars, growing up summers until I was 6, and then every summer till I was 18 in the Midwest out on a farm. No street lights, no city lights. Great plains, heavens wide open. The stars you could see in the sky with no light pollution were simply breathtaking. And the thing of it is, those stars are shining 24/7, 365 days a year. But we only can see them when it's dark. The stars are there for, in our darkness, for us to see the light. And we call them stars, but basically our sun is a star also. A star is just a faraway sun. So every one of those suns, every one of those stars is a sun with planets and moons and people making wishes in some way, shape, or form. Understanding the sky, looking at the sky for guidance. Sailors waiting for the night so they could follow the North Star, know where they were going. Sometimes when you're at sea, it's easier to find your way at night than it is in the daytime, to check your course in the dark. So my thought is, in these interesting times in which we live, with all the bad and good people pointing fingers at one another, which, as Reverend Trish pointed out, has, when you do this, you've got these pointing back at you. It's funny how that works. We need to let go of painting something as dark or light, ourselves as light and that as dark. We need to let go of fear. We need to let go of finding ways to otherize people and to just simply shine our light. Not in revenge, not in anger, not in I'll show you, but just in being the light. And if someone is in darkness, I don't care how bright the day is, they will see your light. Because when we are in darkness, we see what is light around us. And I would like to hope that each of us, I would like to believe, I would like to know. I'm a human being having, or a spiritual being having a human experience, and part of that human experience is learning what I teach. Those who can't teach it, do it, you know, so, or those who can't do it, teach it. Yes, there you go, something like that. I would like to believe that each of us has within us a light that is so uncrushably brilliant that we are able to shine in the darkness for someone around us who needs our light, who needs to know the truth that they really are very, very special, very, very sacred, very, very much needed in today's world. Twinkle, twinkle, little old star. How I wonder what you are. Up above the world, so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little old stars. Thank you. And I would now like to ask our practitioner of the day, Betty Cook. We've got her for 24 more hours. She's flying home tomorrow. So we're not cheering because she's flying home. We're cheering because we had her. Yes, okay. She's going to come up and bless the offering, okay?
I just want to point out that the last time I was here, it was sunny. I've been here all week and it's sunny. I'm leaving and what's it doing outside, right?
Sure.
So, ain't no sunshine when she's gone, just going to say. I'm going to know right here and right now. I'm going to take my gift. I'm going to know that we are in an expanding universe. Expanding and forever unfolding. And I know that right here and right now my gift goes out. It is exponentially becoming more. And in that great law of circulation, it is coming back. And I know that it will come back again and again, enriching my life, enriching the life of all those I touch, and particularly those in this center. I know that. I hold this to my heart. I know that heart energy does not end. Spirit energy does not end, and it's all one. And so it is.
So it is. And I know. Oh, so while the ushers are passing the baskets, I just want to point out this altar that Reverend Linda mentioned by Nancy Fisher. So this little light up here is a mirror. It's a mirror. And this little decoration remarkably represents a project that was completed by one of our foundation students where they had put affirmations in a circle and then the mirror in the middle so that when you look at yourself, you're seeing all these affirmations. And so I noticed today that when we started to sing that I did not introduce myself in V. So I'm Reverend Linda Lundry Starr, and this is V, and we're your song leaders today. And I just want to invite you all to remember who you are. Remember to introduce yourself to yourself each day. And, and give thanks to the world with the offering of who you are. So thanks, Matt.
Everything in this world goes around, flowing with abundance, it knows no bounds. Giving and receiving, we circulate the love with gratitude and knowing there's always enough. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks with this offering. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks for everything.
Announcements. And there's much fun, good stuff about to happen, and I trust and know that you are a part of it or are about to be part of it. Oh, we usually.
That's my bag. Wait, do over. Now we have another song by our house band.
Okay, that was worth the wait. I knew that didn't feel right, and I was just like, but no, I guess it's time. Nothing's happening, so it's been a big, busy weekend for me. I had this Friday night, and then a memorial and a quinceañera yesterday, and then today, and then this afternoon we've got a board meeting. So in my spare time, I sat and ate bonbons. But anyway, announcements and. On Tuesday, the men's coffee group will be meeting at Alon Brothers on 5th Street Market at 10:30 in the morning. 10. 10. 10, around 10 till whenever. Wednesday evening, Reverends Linda and Donna are the hosts of the hostesses, the people who facilitate and hosters of the Wednesday gathering, which is a beautiful hour of thinking, talking, music, chanting, and contemplating what is good in the world. And this month, they're looking at the Four Agreements. You don't have to have read the book. You're not reading a chapter. They're picking a lesson from each one and just talking about it. So please show up and play with them. Okay, Karuna, if you would please come up now. Karuna is part of our community, a newer part, and he has taken over where Astrid was doing the, come on up, was doing the death and desserts, yes, so.
Good morning, everyone. So thank you, Linda, for letting me be here. I wanted to, a lot of people ask me what I do. And I say, I'm a death worker. And after that, I usually do say, well, I am a death doula as well, as if that is informative. And your discussion this morning talked about our reactions to things that are cultural and death, and it's all the complexity around death is modified by our culture. Anyway, I'm trying to, as a life vision, to carry on the conversations around death and help people be comfortable with death and provide work and support to people in the process of death, dying, and bereavement. So, and as I said, usually when I mention this, I get some sort of quizzical look or confused look or a look of horror. And, I kind of try to get beyond that. So anyway, if you have any of those reactions to me saying I'm a death worker, I have an event for you. We're going to, on June 11th, I'm going to be here at the center after the service to create a conversation around what does a death doula do? And the parenthetical or second part of that is being with peace at the end of your life journey, making the most of your precious time. And if I can ever help share anyone with our time is precious, and to be aware of that is really something that's very deep. So with that, I would invite you to come and join me on June 11th. And I look forward to creating rich and deep conversation around what does a death doula do?
That almost sounds like a song. What does a death doula do? Doodly do, doodly do. Careful what you wish for. I see. Someone might write that song. Okay, all right. Okay, the conference is coming up the first weekend in June. There's still spaces, still plenty of spaces. We would like to get at least 5 more participants in the conference. And if for any reason, you might not have the $250 now, we will take payments over the course of the next 2 or 3 months. So if you can pay $80 a month or something like that, we would love to have you with us. And the theme is new beginnings, and Christy Snow is one of the most amazing vocalists and ministers and persons of consciousness that I know, and I trust her completely with your souls during this time. So if you can make it, please let me know, and we'll get you signed up. And Astrid is catering it, so that's wee. Check out our bookstore next Sunday. After the service, that's the 4th Sunday in May, there is going to be an event scheduling meeting, an event planning meeting, an event visioning meeting, an event meeting. Would you like to have more social events? Would you like to have more fundraising events? Would you like to have more events out in the community? Would you like to have events that are internal, external, and in this home? What would you like? We don't know until you speak. So show up after the service, or don't, and meet with Reverend Donna. Huh? Next Sunday. Next Sunday. Oh, there is a single event. I thought you said event planning, and so therefore. It was very quick. That was. We've done that. Okay, so they're going to be planning the event, and while they're planning the event, they'll talk about other events. Yes, we know. And then if Reverend Linda would had something that she, if I recall, you had something you wanted. Oh, you wanted to talk. Oh, okay. So we'll. There are opportunities for volunteering, and there was something I was really going to be sure and tell everybody. Well, one of the opportunities is these are still, the silent auction is still here. So if you are interested in any of these items that are left remaining from that and would like to bid on them, they are available this morning, so please check them out after the service. And if you are interested, we are still looking for people to help with social hall, so that we can at least 1 or 2 Sundays, more than 1 Sunday a month, hopefully 2 Sundays a month, have coffee and snacks in the social hall. And if you'd like to be part of that, please contact me or Susan in the office. And now you can da-da-da.
Hey everyone, so the art that's around the center, so most of you know my aunt painted that, and I wanted to let you know that it is her original art of scenes that she has seen. Most of these probably were painted in the last year to year and a half. She's in a very big creative burst in her life. She went a lot of years not recognizing that divine drive to continue to do what you love every day. And so anyhow, I think they're going to be up for a couple more weeks, and I'm going to be clarifying that with Ellen today. But what I did want to say is that Patricia and Julie, you can take yours home today that you purchased, because I have something to put in its place. So, and I don't see Sandra here. So that's what I wanted. Oh, there you are. So you can take those and I can put something in its place. Okay? Awesome. Yeah.
Show me the money. Okay, so now it's time for our practitioner of the day to talk about our practitioners. And then we'll do our closing song.
One more time. I invite all the practitioners and others and reverends to stand. We are here to serve you. Our job is to know the truth for you. And there are many times when in your life you may need or want a practitioner to serve you. Please know that we are here in person and alive to help you here in service and also online. So if you have any prayer requests, you are able to put in those requests online, and you will have our team praying for you. I am Betty Cook. I am one of your practitioners here, and the others are
Reverend Trish, Reverend Linda, Maggie Covarrubias, Reverend Linda, Reverend Donna.
and 2 or 3 others that are not with us. Okay. Thank you very much.
Please stand and join us for our closing song today. And sing too. Ready now? Yes. It's alright.
Said it's alright. Said it's alright to have a good time. Said it's alright. Oh, it's alright.
Now listen to the beat.
Kinda pat your feet. Now you got soul, and everybody knows that it's alright. Oh, it's alright. When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like some of us do, just hum a little soul and make life your goal. Suddenly something's gotta come to you. It's alright. Say it's alright. Said it's alright to have a good time. So it's alright. Oh, it's alright. Woo!
If you choose, please repeat after me. I am so happy to be. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here together. And so it is.
That was so beautiful today.
Thank you.
It was always
I want to.